I'm learning to sew with my 7-year-old. Today she wants to make a sleep mask and we're following the instructions in one of her sewing books. The first step was to measure out 2 pieces of fabric and cut them. Next, she placed the 2 pieces of fabric together and then pinned the pattern for the mask on top. She then traced around the mask for sewing, leaving gaps on the sides and on the top. I was sewing earlier today, so before she got started on the sewing component, she had to practice her skill of threading the machine. The next step is to sew a straight stitch all the way around that outline that she drew. And then she cut all the way around the stitches, leaving about 1/4 inch for a seam allowance to cut into. Next, she's cutting little triangles into that seam allowance, and now she gets to flip it inside out. And as she was turning it inside out, we realized that she made a mistake, and she actually sewed the right side and the wrong side together. And so she got to learn how to use a seam ripper. So she re-sewed the pieces right sides together. I thought this was a great learning opportunity because all good sewists use their seam ripper. And now it's right sides out. The next step is to put a piece of elastic into those side gaps and then tuck the raw edges under and pin them. And this was a little tricky, and then she had to top stitch around. So I had to help her fold under those raw edges. And oops, she has to use the seam ripper one more time. This was a great learning experience. And now this is the final product. How cute.